Hello. If everybody can hear me. I can never tell when this actually starts. um, so I'll just wait for it to catch up. Let me know if you guys can see me in the chat. Yeah, I think you can. I think you can. And I think we're here, guys. Amazing. What's going on? We have one more week. Right? One more week, and then it's finally back. And all of this, all the coping, would have been worth it. So that's nice, right? And then then it's a new chapter. There's a new chapter of the manga, and we've got a new chapter for us because we're gonna have to figure out what exactly the stream's gonna look like going forward. Because every Monday we'll be discussing the actual chapters as they come in, right? So I thought, hi guys. I thought it would be a pretty good idea if we did a kind of like covered all the previous arcs in a little bit of detail, as well as rank it a little bit, just so that we can all kind of like, you know, I'd like to. There'll be some rules, otherwise everybody will just want to put them all in S tier, which is we're not doing that. That's not allowed. So we'll have to have some rules, right? Oh no, you guys have got me through it. Honestly, in a way, guys, you know, the break, the hiatus was kind of a good thing in its own way, because it forced us to cope. And in that coping period, guys, inside of that coping period, we've pretty much had an entire community build. You know, and anybody who's not familiar, I've plugged it a bunch, I'll plug it again. There's a community Discord. You can access it through the free tier of the Patreon in the description, guys. Really easy. It's great over there. Everybody's incredibly kind and obsessed with Dandadan, which is pretty good because it's like a little group therapy session. And, you know, just jumping in and out and every now and then is quite nice. Anyway, yeah, no, I hear you. I am also starved for Dandadan, but don't worry, we're gonna get there. New video is currently almost done, guys. Like, the script is just about tweaked to the point where I think I can get into production, and then give or take a week for actually getting it out there. So I'm hoping by the end of next week we should have a new video, guys. So that's awesome. I'm also hoping that in the next coming days we have a little bit of update about the copyright strike that we got on the previous video, so maybe we can even watch that again. If you want to see that and you aren't familiar with it, it's also for access on my Patreon for free. So yes, the Discord is the best, guys. It's excellent over there. Everybody's incredibly very decent. It's just that everybody's just really decent, and yeah, it's exciting to be part of something like that, for sure. So, I don't know whether or not this will actually switch over, but let me know if you guys can see it, can see my screen. I feel like an old person when it comes to like anything new to do with streaming. I just have no clue, you know. Yeah, so awesome, great. Okay then, guys, so what I'm thinking is we just kind of keep it quite loose. Yeah, no, Sarah's right, it's great over there, guys. It's been a great time over there, for real. Anybody who's all worried about like, oh, you know, not done Discord before, most of us have not been in any communities before either, or at least a good portion of us haven't. So, yeah, it's pretty exciting. It's pretty great over there. So, anyway, on to the topic at hand. What I think makes the most sense then is for us to just kind of, like go over some of the arcs in some detail, as we go through them, and then we start to pin them into the respective spots on our list, right? You know, they're all great, and I think that that's a problem in regards to something like this, because I imagine that everybody will want to put them on S and A tiers, which we are not doing. Hello, everyone. Yeah, I know it can be hard to keep up with the conversation in the Discord, guys, but that's fine. That's a good problem to have. It means that you've got reading material. So what I'm thinking is that we basically max out each one at 2. So there can only be 2 S tiers, there can only be 2 A tiers, 2 B tiers, 2 C tiers, and then 1 D tier if my basic math has not failed me. So there's a lot of Kinters in the chat, guys. There are a lot of Kinters in the chat. Now, see, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. We can't have them all be A and S tiers, because that's you know. I'm thinking we should start chronologically. It's gonna be hard. It's gonna be hard to do, but that's fine, right? So you know, this is a bit looser than some of the other stuff that we've done, which I think is fine. You know, it doesn't have as much of kind of like something to pin us to, because I'm not going to be following the manga directly, but that's fine. So yeah, it's on that's a sliding Dandadan scale, exactly. Okay then, guys, right? So you know, feel free to add in as much perspective as you guys feel you can. You know, I want this to be as collaborative as we can make it. Yeah, so awesome, guys. Yeah, it's gonna be definitely like not hard and fast. I imagine that everybody's gonna have different. To be honest, I feel like the hardest ones are gonna be picking between the S and the A tiers. Well, I mean, to be honest, this could just be one big tangent, in a way, right? I'm debating whether or not to just keep the manga up with me, just for the sake of having some material to kind of reference as we go, right? You know. So let's just get started, guys. Oh, yeah, Tim the Mighty gifted a bunch of memberships. So it's essentially it's joining one of the paid tiers on YouTube that does that. But like you know, Tim hands them out like candy, you know. The guy is just crazy. But that's fine. God bless him. Right, there's your music, guys. Yeah, something like that. Something like that. I don't know if it changes on Apple devices or not, guys, because they have like a very specific cut system. But anyway, point is, this is exciting because next week is when it all kicks back off again, the manga. So I think that this is a really good way for all of us to kind of have the opportunity to just cover some of the stuff that we've already seen and the stuff that we've already read. You know, some of the... Hi, guys. So some of the arcs are so much longer than the others. It's going to be hard to keep everything in here and know exactly what it is that happens in each of them. So if I miss something, guys, that's important in one of these arcs, I'm going to need you to correct me. You know, I only have so much in here, so much space in here for anything. Okay, so first up is the Turbo Granny arc, guys. I mean, what more does there need to be said about? Oh wow, we got Serpo. Welcome. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. At this point, I don't know who's, you know, yeah, it's incredible. Thank you, everybody, for anybody who's paid or not paid for being here. It's just amazing. Still can't imagine it. Still don't know how to react to it. So I'm just going to say thank you and press on. A sister. I don't know. You know what, guys? What we'll do is we'll go through the list first. We'll go through each arc chronologically, you know, and then at the end we'll tighten it up one way or the other. And as we go, we'll shift things around as we kind of move, right? Because, like I said, we're maxing out at 2 per level, which means that someone has to end up in D. I love the Turbo Granny arc as well. You know, I think there's something about things starting, right? There's something about things starting that's just incredible. I think that Dandadan hadn't quite figured out exactly what it was at this point. But as far as grabbing you is concerned, I think that the first arc is incredible, right? It is. It's incredible. I don't know. So much happens in it. Yeah, see, I'm leaning towards A already, but let's try and cover the basics, the bones of it. And again, once we pick a place for it on the tier, guys, we can go back and shift them around. No stress. It is iconic, and it's got a lot in it. I also find that the Momo's hair especially, but a lot of the art is a bit more detailed in the first arc, at least in the manga, which is interesting. I think that is something that got refined over time. It's the people, yeah. Well, the real Dandadan were the friends we made along the way, guys. But you know, like introducing characters is so hard, right? I imagine some of you are writers or have spent some time writing and creating something, characters, and then putting them out there, and having people read that and actually connect with it is such a difficult thing to do. And Dandadan does such a good job of just catching you, right? Like, everything about the first chapter alone is so excellent, because you get a real good, just an incredible kind of perspective on who Okurun and Momo are, right? I don't know, on one hand it feels like it moves so quick, but on the other hand it feels like so much happens that it just feels like so long, right? Yeah, and he's also he goes through here quickly, right? Like, he starts with his little bowl cut though, right? I don't know. I think that I'm also comfortable putting it on a solid B tier, but anyway, so let's just cover the actual arc, guys, before we make a judgment on where we put it, right? So, sorry, I'm trying to keep up with the chat as well as focus on the thing. It can be difficult. Yeah, so Okurun and Momo meet. Okurun's getting bullied by someone who will show up in 180 chapters from now, right? And she just sits in between them. And yeah, I mean, it's a simple thing. It's such a simple thing to do, to sit between someone, and it's a split-second decision for her, I think. But for Okurun, it's a huge moment, right? And this leads to him chasing her out into the hallway, and from there, he just kind of shoves this obsession with the occult in her face. And it's actually quite jarring in the manga, because that's Obama. It's actually Obama. But it is jarring in the manga to see that. But anyway, they push each other into a competition because Momo tries to connect with Okurun after being mean to him with her weirdness of ghosts, right? Yeah, of course. It's such a tiny act of kindness, and it's in Momo's character, right? Like, she loves the idea of doing the right thing, justice, right? But for Okurun, it's the only time that he's been seen for anything but being a loser, and it's really impactful. Yeah, I'm curious where they go with Hase, if I'm going to be honest, Danny. I'm very curious. Yeah, that's a good point. I don't know when these arcs technically end, like what chapter they end on. I would say that the Turbo Granny stuff ends when they've just before the next day of school, right? I think that's Acro Silky territory. Anyway, they go to different locations. Okurun goes to a haunted ghost spot, and Momo goes to a UAP hotspot where she's abducted and he's possessed, and he is essentially he gets his genitalia stolen. That's fine, you know, that happens. And he gets turned into a monster, a cursed monster. And you know, the stuff again, the stuff on the Serpo ship is a little bit close to the edge, I think, in a lot of ways. And I can understand why it is a bit much for some people, but I don't know. I mean, some of this, it's the first chapter, and I think maybe that brings it down a little bit. But you know, trying to, I suppose, make a mark in the Japanese manga scene kind of means that at least for the first chapter or so, you've got to do some of this weirder stuff. I think maybe that's just me kind of brushing it aside, but I don't know. I don't like linger on in it too much. It's is what it is, right? Anyway, the next, so they fight, and there's some great moments here, even from like the first chapter. And I think this is why the first arc is so powerful for me, is that it carries so many of the things that are going to develop into the main themes in just such a small package, right? Like into a singular story. I think the moment for me when Okurun says that he's ready to turn to a monster to protect Momo, who essentially is the first person who ever actually took the time to see him, is such a powerful moment. And I think that for a lot of people it's incredibly relatable. And he's not immediately this incredible strong guy. He's quite weak, and because he's completely at the whim of the curse, right? He doesn't just suddenly become like a badass. He and Momo need to coexist with each other because she's the one keeping the curse at bay. And forcing them to spend this time together, I think, is such a great way of forcing them to get closer with each other as well, in a kind of, in a way that's really natural, right? Like it just reflects the journey that they're on together. Also, we find out that his name's Ken Takakura. I think that the anime did such a good job of this as well. Like that moment where he tells Momo his name is so good in the anime. It's like a vibe. I remember watching it for the first time and I was like, well, that now I need to go and read the whole thing. Anyway, then the next day, in the second chapter, they're essentially, it's all based more or less at Momo's house, right? And they're fighting the, well, you get a little bit of depth as well into Okurun, and he gets his curly haircut, his little afro thing, you know? Yeah. The first episode is really good. It sold me on it for sure. Like the explosion behind it was excellent. I like that kind of stuff though, where they take a little bit of creative liberty from the anime, from the manga, and do their own thing. Like there's a bit on the just like I think it was the last episode where they're in the train and instead of Okrun kind of just like over the course of like 5 minutes internalizing and thinking about his nut, right? You get this sense of how long the journey is because they're moving from scene to scene, and it's just cutting and cutting and cutting while he's in rhythm with him speaking in like his internal monologue. I think that's just a great way of editing and changing the pace of the original scene. So yeah, I mean both of them do excellent stuff, right? But yeah, yes, yeah, that's the one. That's the scene. But in this arc we get to see, you know, Okrun's kind of, you know, he's open about what drives him, right? Like he's a lonely guy. He's never had a friend, and Momo is just that. But you see, not just that, but also his lack of confidence. You know, he's a nervous guy. He's an awkward fellow. He's an awkward fellow. But it's interesting to see him also being held accountable for the fact that he's responsible for his own loneliness in a way by distancing himself. So yeah, some great character development. Also, we get to see his Turbo Granny form for the first time when he brings it out to fight the Flatwoods monster. And we also get to see Momo as a badass, which is pretty cool. And how clever they are in the fight is excellent too. And these early chapters are very long too. We also get introduced to Saiko, which is pretty badass. There's a mini training arc, but it doesn't really go on for that long, which is pretty cool. Yeah, I mean, it's great. And then there's also the fight with Turbo Granny is great. And that's another thing that they did a great job of in the anime too, was that fight, you know? Yeah, I mean, backstory-wise, it's going to be Zuma. Yeah. I think that Zuma's backstory is in my opinion, is the hardest hitting. Like, I think that the Acro Silky one is extraordinary. Like, that in my opinion is one of those situations where the anime went above and beyond what they needed to do with that. It was just incredible. The whole sequence was just incredible. It's beautifully animated. But it's hard to watch for sure. But Zuma's backstory, I think, is because it's so entwined with the actual resolution of the plot as well. I mean, I suppose Acro Silky's is as well, because that's how they essentially have her help Ida, right? But I don't know. Maybe there's just a disparity between the fact that I'm not a parent, but I am a brother, right? So maybe it hits more personally to me, or I connect more personally with it. But I think Zuma's is probably the most powerful one, for sure. Depending on how it's executed, obviously. Oh yeah, the music for Acro Silky is so good. Like, it's just amazing, just perfect. But we're not there yet. You're jumping ahead. In fact, I should probably speed up because we're almost half an hour in. I don't know what the right pacing is. We obviously can't go through the whole thing, just because. Yeah, no, you guys are the tangent. How dare you? Because, like, obviously when we get to the space globalist stuff, that will just take forever to get through. So we need to rank these things. Anyway, she sees Okrun taking a dump. Yeah, that's a thing. That's how it starts for them, right? Anyway, and then they go and fight Turbo Granny. And that's where we get our first sad backstory as well. After they defeat her, we learn that Turbo Granny was actually looking after... it's just the tangents. Was actually looking after the girls in the tunnel. And we still don't really have a full-blown answer for what the deal with that is, by the way. Like, I mean, you can infer it, but there is something to it that's... Like, Turbo Granny is not the type to admit this kind of stuff, right? Like, she keeps it private inside, and I think one day we're going to learn a little bit more about her, but... yeah. I don't know. I think that she's great. I think you can figure out what it is, right? I mean... Turbo Granny, I think, cares deeply about lost souls, essentially. Like when she's looking after the cat, the little kitten, in the bonus chapters. I think we covered those. Maybe we didn't. I know there are some bonus chapters we didn't cover, which Sarah has graciously put together in the Discord. It's all pinned there, but we'll go through that one day. You know, I'm keeping that in the back pocket. Keeping it in the back pocket for now, guys. You know, but yeah, I mean, there's that's Turbo Granny to a T, right? She's kind of she cares deep down, and this is why we all know that she'll be back very soon. And then we get our first dinner time scene. We get to see what a bunch of weirdos the ISAs are. There's the iconic Momo eating crab scene. Who knows? I don't know. He falls in love with that. Like, that's how we, you know what I mean? And then we get the goodbye scene, right? And that's what sold it. That's what sold it to me. Is that? That's what sold it, because it's, you get through these huge moments together. You get through these huge moments where they overcome this crazy stuff together, right? And it means a lot in the moment, it does, but it's when it gets carried back into just the normal world that it becomes so powerful, right? Like in the quiet moments that follow it, it's that are unlocked by their ability to reach out to each other in the heat of the moment. It's like it unlocks a new level of closeness and intimacy, and I think this is the first time that we see that, is that they have a lot to say but aren't ever ready or willing to actually say it, and it's hard to watch, but when they overcome it and they actually do connect with each other, like when Momo says see you tomorrow, it's just like, oh, thank God. I don't know, it's powerful. It's a powerful thing for sure. And then the next day, seeing her wait for him outside of school is great, because he's a lonely guy and this is his first friend, and it's like, yeah, you did it, man. You made a friend. Good for you. I don't know where I place it, actually. I feel like it's lazy to just drop it on B so that we can go back to it later and change it. Right, can we get some letters in the chat, please, guys? I need some advice here. I don't know. I personally I'm leaning towards an A. I'm leaning towards an A. But if everybody's saying B, then so be it. That's a stupid joke, guys. That was just not funny. Oh, it looks like B's are winning. Pooty, I get you. Gabriel, I'm with you. It looks like we're looking at a B, guys. And I'm only going to count one of Stick Fixer's B's. Snow Wolf. Be decisive. Be decisive. Oh, crap. I can't count this many. Oh, ooh, I can do a poll. Can't I? Yes, I can do a poll. Hell yeah. Look at that. I just did a poll, guys. Answer it. Answer it. You have a couple minutes. You have a couple minutes to get answering, guys. Look at that. Look at it go. Oh, it's going all over the place. That's exciting. Yeah, we it's not 50%. Is it 50%? Are you kidding me? What is it? No. Oh, we got B. No, it's back to A. Come on, guys. That means I get to choose. If it's 50-50, then I get to choose, guys. You have I'll give you 30 seconds to decide. Oh, it's leaning. No, it's back to 50. Come on, guys. Okay. I don't know how many seconds have passed, but I'm going to give you 10 more seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. End poll. 50%. Oh, guys, we are incredibly indecisive. Oh, look, it's Tim. Hi, Tim. You've been missed, friend. Also, guys, I haven't updated the YouTube tiers yet, but the Patreon tier says that anybody on the top tier, which is not called the same thing on either of them at the moment. I need to consolidate them. Gets shout out on the stream. Tim Kai, thank you for the highest level support, friend. Absolutely astounding. Thank you. In fact, he's done some really cool stuff as well on the Discord. He pulled together a interview piece with Momo's Japanese voice actor, and yeah, brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Yeah, it's really cool. I don't know. Did Tim? Did you vote? If you didn't vote, man, you can be the tiebreaker. Turbo Granny Arc. A or B. A or B. That's where we're at. It's 50-50, my dude. I salute you, my friend. I appreciate your support as well. Thank you. And obviously, it goes without saying that I appreciate all of your support, everybody. Don't need to be paid up. You don't need to be a paid member to be an important one. So thank you. So Tim, A or B tier for Turbo Granny Arc. We're ranking all of the arcs, my friend. A or B tier for Turbo Granny. You're the tiebreaker. That's what you've walked into. 50-50. I was going to do it, but now that you're here, it's like the stars aligned. This is tense. Ooh, B tier. B tier. His will be done. You know, he's spoken, right? Don't say that. Let no one say we don't do things democratically here. Looks like a B. Looks like a B. Okay then. Excellent. Right. While I start going through the Serpo arc, if anybody can remind me exactly when it ends, that'd be great. That'd be great. Well, that means Tim won't be allowed to vote. If that's the case, because then he'll get 2 votes. Well, maybe he's earned 2 votes. No, that's not fair. Yeah, it's 2 per category, which means someone's going to end up in D tier, Tim, and anybody else who's new, you know. So, right. Now there's a great where we're at. We're at the Acro silky, right? Yeah, Acro silky arc. Democracy. I like that. Ridiculous. So, Acro silky arc. Now, I don't know whether or not we're judging this just by the manga or whether we're judging it with the anime included, because if we are, then that bumps this up a bit, but I'm not sure. Tim, we'll get to the ombudsman arc. We'll get to the ombudsman arc, my friend. I also suspect that will be our D tier. I would probably also agree with it being the D tier, but let's not get ahead of ourselves. We've still got an hour and a bit to go. Yes, I think so as well. Sorry, the end of the Acro silky arc as well, I think, is probably the dinner, right? Like the summon dinner. Anyway, point is, next day, they meet up and they walk to class together, and it's very cute. And he's got a friend. Okurun's got a friend, and we get to see him be bullied again, which is awful. I hate it. I hate it. They're awful. His class are awful. And this, you know what? Actually, no. You say poor Rin, Blissey, right? This is my biggest problem with Rin. Where is she? Why is it when Momo shows up, then suddenly it's like, oh, are you bullying this guy? It's like, where have you been? Where have you been? There are people throwing stuff at him every day. Magnets wrapped up in paper and throwing him around literally throwing him around the classroom. They throw a volleyball at his head, a football, right? And it's like, where were you, Rin? That's it. Nah, you got it. You got it. And then she takes notice when he becomes hot. Yeah, no, I know. Honestly, all this time we've all been risen up against Kingta, right? And now look at the chat. An army of Kintas, right? I don't believe that he's the worst character anymore. I don't buy it. It's Rin. You know, initially, I didn't like Kingta either. I thought he was silly. I thought that he was a very silly guy, right? But I started to like him ironically because of the chat. The chat is what, like, that's what forced me to like him ironically. But I don't know if it's just because I associate him with this community now, but I kind of like him a bit, and I don't know how to feel about it. It's like not a joke now. I think that he's actually neat. I think he's neato burrito, you know? Yeah, maybe you're right, Sarah. Maybe I'm being too harsh. I know she hadn't been written at this point. She didn't exist, right? But I don't know. I don't know that the class president not being there is enough for these guys to not like wail on Okurun every day. I can't see anything stopping them. Is their favorite thing is just beating the crap out of him for no reason, and I don't know what he did other than just like the occult, right? Anyway, that, you know, look at all the Kintas. No. It's terrible. It's okay, Serpo. He'll grow on you. Just give it time. You just got to let him in. You know what it is? When you, if you get blessed by Sir Timothy one day, as he has blessed almost the entire community with the Serpo arc, and you get that little Kinta next to your name, you'll see things differently. You'll see things our way. All right. What's Quentin Tarantino doing in the chat? Oh, no, that's it. I think that's the idea, right? Is Kinta's kind of like, he's a bit relatable for a lot of people, you know? I don't know what to do when everybody's moved on from Kingta. It's very soon, actually, that the Kingta era will be over. I don't know what to do. I don't know whether or not to... I need to add him into another tier somewhere. We'll find out. I'll think about it, guys. We're not going to lose him. But these things... It's nature, right? That's life. That's the way that these things go. Right. Okay, we're 40 minutes in, and we've done one. We're 40 minutes in, and we've done one. Because I'm distracted, and you're distracting me. So, we are now on... Yeah, so the next day, he's getting bullied, and he's fine with it. He can talk... There he goes. Timothy. Oh... I thank you again. I can't, you know what I mean? I can't be more grateful to you, genuinely. You know? Yeah, you're feeding the distraction. You're feeding the distraction. Look, if we don't get this done today, I don't know what we're gonna do, because we don't have another next Monday is dedicated to thingy. Is dedicated to the new chapter. Yeah. Look, I wish that we were all in the same time zone. That'd be sick. But alas, it isn't to be. You know? No, I mean, if we don't get it done today, then we'll probably have to work out maybe maybe Saturday. But I am going to be editing, guys, so I don't want to slow down. Tim, that's more than enough, my friend. You've done so much. It's wild, absolutely wild. I'm asking you to slow down. I'm asking you to stop, please. I can't. My heart can't take it. Thank you. I know it genuinely no one ever feel compelled to donate. Never ever feel compelled to do so. It's incredibly meaningful. Like, genuinely, it's so incredible. I can't. I do this every single stream because I still can't fathom that anybody is ready, willing at all to pay to be part of this community. But thank you. But never feel forced to do so. All right, because it's always going to be available for everybody, you know. Although we do have a secret special clubhouse in the Discord for Dandadan and up. But that's the only thing I could bring myself to do. See ya, man. Anyway, getting bullied. He has a football smack him in the head, and also Momo is in class, and she's sad too because she wants to talk to Acro about ghosts. Which, yeah, they just think about each other. Even now, all they want to do is talk to each other, and it's so wild that they barely know each other, but they've bonded in a way that it's hard to even comprehend how quickly they've come together. And it's great because they like each other, and that's great. You know, it's just nice. And they can't find each other at lunch, so they are like doing the teenage thing where they start to kind of feel, you know, self-conscious, like they made a mistake, like they did the wrong thing, and incredibly negative, and they're just like across from each other. And there's another scene that the anime just does so well. In fact, this arc, if we were scoring the anime arcs in here, if we were just to transplant this with the anime one, it would be like at least an A tier, easy. That's how love starts, you know. But I think that we're judging the manga. You know, I think we're judging the manga, although we will make comment on the anime. So they can't. But then they walk into each other, and then they kind of don't kiss, but kind of do kiss. It kind of is a kiss, right? But they knock teeth. That must hurt, to be fair. Ooh, don't like to think about that. Yes, there you go, Blissey. Prophesized. As prophesized. Yeah, see, I think for me also, B is where I'm kind of landing with it. Not to say that it isn't great. It's got some excellent moments. Yeah, but I mean, it's also got Miko and Muko in it, which elevates it immediately because they're the best. They're the best, you know? Like, we will get a poll up very soon, guys. Don't worry. Anyway, Okrun realizes that his balls are gone. And there's a great panel where he's looking down in the bathroom, in the toilets, and he just says, now my balls are gone. And that's very funny. It's very Dandadan, guys. And I suppose what I really enjoy about this arc, at least at this point, is, besides the fact that we see Ida for the first time and she's fantastic, she's the leader, but we get to see the struggle, I suppose, between them of growing together, with the pressure of society around them, right? Like, when they're alone and there's no one around, it's really easy to be friends because, look, most of the time, and this is what's lame, this is what sucks about things like school or that kind of club mentality, right? When most people are together, they just get on. It's very rare that you run into someone who you just can't get on with, because people are more similar than they are different. It's just when you start adding in more and more and more people, and then you've got the pressure of social elements, that it's suddenly, I don't know how I should be with this person, because other people are going to judge me for it. And that's awful. That's terrible. I hate that. But yeah, it's a misunderstanding here. Momo is interesting. She's my favorite character, right? Like I do not hide that. I think Momo's my favorite character, and I think for her this is more, there is the element of everybody around her, but I think that people telling her that, oh, this is your boyfriend, oh, you know, you like him, all this kind of stuff, and she kind of does, even though it's early, she kind of does. It's overwhelming, it's too much, and her typical response to things like this is to just close it off, shut it down, and Sarah, yeah, very good, and shut it down. And I think that's why she shoos him off, because she doesn't want to even consider it or talk to him because of what it could mean. And Okrun takes that as though she's embarrassed by him. He takes that as though it's too much social pressure, like being friends with him is something to be ashamed of. And it makes sense, right? That's his insecurity. That's obviously how he would react, because nobody likes him. Nobody's taken the time to like him, and despite the fact, and it's almost like he wants to convince himself some way, shape or form that he is right in his presuppositions, right? It's like you want to convince yourself that is the case, because at least then it's like you didn't do anything wrong, you didn't misstep. It's just, oh, everybody, it's the social elements, right? It's not me, it's that, it's just obviously this is what was going to happen, right? It's like a protective kind of defense mechanism. But yeah, he walks off. It's really sad. It's awful. And then he bumps into Ira, and then obviously she starts to masquerade as though she likes him and that she's interested in him more than not at all, because that's, I mean, she's got a savior complex, right? And that is something worth analyzing one day in a video, maybe. One day. Get the next one out first. And then she gets a wash basin to the head by Momo. And obviously Ida and Momo and Okrun come back together. And Okrun gets the powers of Turbo Granny. From there on, it's a mission to find his balls, his golden balls. This is where it starts. You know, this is where the mission begins, to find his balls. Yeah, I know. Yeah, like, Danny's right. You gotta be careful. You gotta be careful with these folk. But he gets the powers of Turbo Granny, and then the next day, someone tells someone basically informs him that Momo is cute. All right, and it's like he had never considered it before. He was just happy to have a friend. And as he's hearing about the rumors that people are spreading, he defends her, right? And yeah, it's good. I mean, let's not get too into the nitty gritty of the details, because I don't think we're going to finish this. What was I thinking? Obviously, we weren't going to do this in one night. What's wrong with me? Obviously, we got through one. You've not missed anything, Biggie, my dude. We've gone through one ranking. This is going to have a part 2, and I don't know when it's going to be. We're going to have to do it again in the week. I've got no choice. At a certain point. My hands are tied. You know? My hands are tied, guys. We might need to do like a Thursday. A Thursdadan. I don't know. If anybody's up for that, let me know. That is what it is, Danny. We actually finished something for once, and that meant that I thought that we could do it again, but apparently not. Anyway, Momo hears through the grapevine that Okarun fought this guy in class for her, which is, again, you know, sweet. Yeah, I know, Lissy, I know. Oh my god, what am I gonna do? Maybe a Thursday stream. If people are down for a Thursday stream, then let's do it. Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna be editing the next video all week, guys. Anyway, so I wouldn't stress about that. Like, one night isn't gonna kill. Yeah, I know. In retrospect, this was a silly thing to even consider, guys. But look, let's see what we can. We've still got an hour. We might be able to get through to halfway. Let's try and get through the Evil Eye arc, guys. We can do it. Anyway, we learn more about Ida and the fact that she has been the one spreading the rumors, and that she thinks that she is the savior of the world because she's beautiful, you know, that as you do. She's an interesting person. She found Okarun's ball when it bonked her on the head. She gets a lot of bonks on the head, by the way, guys. You know. Look, see, no, I need I need some faith. I need some faith, guys. We can do this. All right. Okay. I don't want to. Like, inside of me, I don't want to rush it because it's like it's an enjoyable thing to go through it all. Bonk, yeah, bonk. Anyway, I'm getting tangents. It's all of your fault. It's not my fault. I'm perfect. I'm the perfect savior. Anyway, she takes the golden ball, as you do, and also gathers a lot of religious paraphernalia to utilize in exercising Momo, because she thinks that she's a demon because she saw her magic ghost hands. Meanwhile, Okarun and Momo are, yeah, I mean, the nature of their relationship is constantly shifting, but here is another shift in which Okarun is starting to maybe realize how he feels. Maybe not consciously, like not accepting it, but his body it knows that he likes her. And yeah, we start to see Turbo Granny just hanging out in the school, which is great. She can eat. She's a Maneki Neko doll essentially, but she can eat. Whatever, cool. She eats a lot, actually. I don't know how that happens. I wonder if they have a litter tray for her, right? Yeah, Ida has gotten stranger and stranger, and that's fine. I think she's great. I've been, bonked. Sorry, guys. Anyway, they go looking around for the strange woman. And then Ida essentially wants to meet. She can see the woman in the red dress, and she wants to meet Momo after school to talk. And she does, and her friends, who at this point are very loyal. No, stop. You're distracting me. Her friends are very loyal at this point, and they get Momo and they hold her down, and then Ida tries to exorcise her by shoving a lighter in her face of a cross. And Momo throws the two of them away with her magic powers, and then Ida, yeah, I know, guys. You know what I mean. Anyway, she uses the one of Okrun's testicles, kind of shoves it in it. This is actually literally what happens. Like, shoves the testicle in her face, as you do, and tries to exorcise her with it. And at that moment, the Acro silky yokai shows up. Yeah. Hi there, cat. Extra tired cat. I'm sorry that you're so tired. It is huge. I guess that it's encased in that layer of the spiritual layer. But hey, these Kentakakura, Anyway, we get a little bit of backstory. I love how these chapters are named, by the way. Acrobatic Silky's kind of long, and then let's just call it Acro Silky. It's ridiculous. We see the backstory, and again, this is done so well in the anime. I know we're not judging the anime, like we're judging the manga here, but yeah, it's powerful. And she is convinced that she's Ida's mother. Also, Okrun's really bad at fighting at this point in time. Like, he's dreadful at it. And yeah, they get beat the crap out of, right? And then she literally eats them. Eventually, she also gets Ida, who won't call her mother, and then eventually eats Ida as well. Again, as you do. And despite all of that, Momo is still there fighting, and she refuses to call her mother as well. But she's intentionally antagonizing her because that's just who Momo is, right? And then she gets swallowed too. And Turbo Granny then unveils that she has some degree of magic ability. But she just does, because she's a Maneki Neko. Fortunately, the lighter was there, and they set her on fire from the inside out. And the fight continues, obviously, and eventually Okrun and Momo get the better of Acro Silky and defeat her, with Okrun using his head to just go straight through her. And then we learn the backstory. Well, Ida's dead, essentially, and then we learn the backstory of the Acrobatic Silky, and it's tragic and horrible, and I couldn't do it justice by reciting it, but I think we all know. What happens. I don't need to recite that. If you want it recited for you guys, go watch my yokai video after this, if you like, or you could go watch the episode. It's amazing. It's outstanding. And then she moves on to a kinder world. And then they all have noodles together. And it's great. I love this scene. It's so good. All the dinner scenes are some of my favorite scenes. They're just so good. Yeah, no, the manga definitely... I think the manga at times is a bit harder. It's a little bit harder in places. Like, it goes like a bit more intense. It doesn't shy away from certain elements of it, right? Especially the element of kind of like what she does for work and all that. I'm not crying on stream. No way. You ain't getting me. You ain't getting me. Not happening. You know, maybe when, maybe the Dan Mamra arc. But not yet. Anyway, I think that is actually, I think the dinner is actually maybe the beginning of the next arc, isn't it? Is it? I feel like that's the beginning of the Serpo arc. Okay. Guys, I'm going to drop the poll in the chat. Okay. This... Right. I can't do D tier for this, but I don't think anybody's going to pop it in the D tier anyway. So, boom. Do your thing, guys. Do your thing. Yeah, I think that is it, Blissy. And you know, in a way, the restrictions are actually quite. They lend to getting creative about how to demonstrate things without actively showing it, right? And I think that at times that actually works in its favor. You know, some in my opinion, some of the greatest pieces of art they've come from censorship and restrictions, things like that. You know, like, and you can almost tell, because we can tell that these restrictions have led to things being done in a certain way. It's almost as though there's a unique flavor to it that you wouldn't have gotten without those restrictions, right? Like something like kind of like Tarkovsky kind of work, right? Like working and existing in the Soviet Union and having the restrictions of that on his cinema. You can feel it in every facet of the film, of his films, and it's great. So even these restrictions, I think, are such creative ways of getting around those kind of restrictions. Almost mean that in a way it's more powerful, because if you get the message, you really get it, and you had to look for it, right? A tier? Is this A tier? Wow. I didn't expect us to vote at A tier, guys. I'm not gonna lie. Um, 24 votes. 24 votes. Our very own Quentin Tarantado. I'm glad. I didn't expect. That's great. No, awesome, Quentin. I feel like your name's not Quentin. Is it actually? All right. I guess. Look, I didn't anticipate it being A tier, but I don't want to put any. I said earlier, we're democratic around these parts. I ain't gonna veto nothing. All right, don't say I don't do nothing for you guys. You crazy animals. Serpo arc is A tier. Crazy animals. Hey, look, I respect everybody's opinion though, so that's pretty cool. I don't know whether I get a vote or not. I feel like I would have probably put it in B tier, or maybe. Wait, Serpo tier. I meant Acro silky arc. My bad. Sorry. I apologize. Yeah, no, I probably wouldn't have put it in A tier myself, but hey, I can see why. I know, guys, my mistake. My mistake. I made a mistake. We were. Oh, everyone's attacking me. No, pseudonym. Yes, I get it. My name's not Safety Zone Rookie, so I totally. I'm all about pseudonyms, my friend. Well, guys, incredible. Oh, that's very nice of you, Gabriel, my friend. I'm really hoping that I could tie break something, but you know, that's fine. The Senate has spoken, and I love democracy. No, Danny, come on. No. Look, it's the wash basin. It ain't me. I got hit by a wash basin early today, so you can't blame me. No, I'm only joking. I know it's not an attack. I know it's not an attack. Don't worry, guys. No, John's right. John's right. You know, I need to be better than that. No, don't clip it. Chat, don't clip it, please. Epic gamer bro moment, guys. Okay, right. Serpo arc. I'm just going to say it. We're not getting through it all. We're not getting through it all tonight, right? I was really proud of the thumbnail I made, and I was really proud of the idea that I wouldn't have to make a new one or add a part 2 to it. I thought it was a really cool thumbnail to say I did it in like an hour. But, yeah, I was a fool to presume that we'd get through it all tonight. And we can't do it next Monday, so we're going to have to do Thursday, maybe Thursday. Don't quote me on that. But we'll figure it out, okay? We'll figure it out. Let's just hope we can do this in 2 parts. This is fun. This is fun. I'm glad that we're all here, because doing this on my own would be really, really difficult, because just one guy, right? There'd be no one to bounce off of. How are you gonna? Because you can't vote with 3 people, really. It just kind of, you know. We could maybe do Saturday, actually. Everybody would be available for that. Everybody would be available for Saturday. That might work better. But, maybe. Maybe. Not a bad idea, Sarah. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, to be honest, guys, we could probably just... I don't know. It doesn't matter right now. Right now, we continue. We press on. Thursday. No, not Thursday. The Serpo arc. Serpo arc starts with the meat and Soma noodles together, which is really cute because there's a lot of tension between Momo and Aida even from the get-go, and this underscores their entire relationship, right? It's just argumentative, but it's also almost a foreshadow for the way that their relationship and the kind of conflict is going to evolve across this arc, right? Because really, this is about jealousy, right? It's about the a new girl is on the scene, right? And that's not something that they've had to contend with. It's just been Momo and Okarun until now, but adding this new person in and somebody who has a crush on Okarun is quite a disruptive element in the mix. And you know, it's no secret that you know, that yeah, I'm focusing up. The Discord's great, guys. Again, anybody who wants to join the Discord, just in the description, my Patreon free tier gets you access to the Discord invite link. Be great to have anybody there. It's awesome over there, right? Like, so fun. Anyway, yeah, this is about the Aida and Momo, essentially. And you know, Aida's existence helps to push Momo to understand that she feels more than what she thought she felt towards Okarun. And that's a great plot device, right? So often they just introduce a jealousy angle to any anime for no real reason, other than to just have jealousy, because it's like, oh, we need to do that because we're an anime, right? So we need to have a jealousy arc. But Dandadan does it with a purpose beyond that. It's Dandadan does it with the purpose of it pushing and driving the character growth of the protagonist, which is really important, and it doesn't drag it out for too long either. Anyway, so Aida starts to realize that she likes Okarun a lot, and he gets his ball back. He gets one ball back, and in a lot of ways, this is a false expectation for us that it was going to stay there, or that we were going to keep up this pace of getting balls back, because it takes a long time to get to the next one, right? To be honest, like, everybody takes the Discord is great. Everybody takes the time. It's very enjoyable over there, everyone. Anyway, he gets one ball back, and there's a great scene, which has been reworked to be, well, when he screams that it's back, you know, people have changed out the text for that, and it's great. Yeah. Anyway, the next day at school, Okurun, Momo wants to go with Okurun to an internet cafe or something like that, so that they can do a little bit of research on the next ball, on his other ball. And he basically says that he has a report to do. However, it's kind of suspicious. There's something off about it. I mean, it's not, and she can tell, right? There's an intuition between them, and she can tell that he's hiding something. And when she goes out at lunch to go and get drinks, she sees Okurun and Aira together, which shocks her, as it would anyone. Obviously, he wasn't actually just pouncing on her. He was behind working out, and she essentially attacked him. And this is another great scene. I absolutely love the images of Aira doing her homework on romance, and the anime also took that a step further, which is just fantastic. Those scenes are just amazing. Like, this she is locked in. Every element of her life, Aira's life, every element of it, she is locked in. I wish I had a fraction of the drive that this girl has, because she wants to be the best at everything, including romance. Well, at least she's not experienced in it at all, which is funny considering the fact that she covets it from other people so much. But she's inexperienced because I suppose you could say that the element of her that she shows to the world, the one that she wants to be sought after and people to admire and care for, is not her. It's not the real her. So doing something like this, a confession of love, which she actually does feel for Okurun, it's raw, real, and it's not an act. So the facade of what she shows to everybody else in the world, the mask that she wears, it's not prepared to deal with this. So she's inexperienced in it, because everything that she does and everything is worn in this exterior version of herself. So she's quite awkward beneath all of that. And they tussle, essentially, and then he falls on top of her at the exact moment that Momo shows up. And she's upset. She walks away angrily, and she's quite right to as well, because he lied to her. I mean, besides the fact that the image of seeing them haunts her, because she obviously is starting to like Okurun, and she's worried that he might not be the guy that she thought that he was. But for him, he's beating himself up about it, and for once he's actually right to do so, because he shouldn't lie. Lying's not good. Even if he thinks he's doing it for her, he's doing it for him in a way, because he wants to look cool. It's a vanity thing, and it's just not in his character, right? That's not what she likes about him, and it's just not right. Anyway, then the literal actual Loch Ness monster shows up, and they get into a fight. It's hard to relay the action scenes, guys, without actually pointing it out, but they aren't doing too well in this fight, and they're essentially getting thrown around quite a lot up until and this is actually where we first encounter Peeny Weeny. Hi Enigma, what's going on? You'll find out the favorite arc very soon. Very soon. And by very soon, I mean probably not today. Because We're not moving at a good pace. We're not moving at a good pace at all, guys. But yeah, so Momo's got a lot of feelings pent up still. And she's struggling to work with them in the fight. And this is just the typical thing, right? Like, when, depending on how the characters feel, it also is a reflection of the battle performance. And also the things that happen in the fight have such huge ramifications for the personal growth of the characters too. So seeing all of this happen in real time in this fight is really interesting. It's not until Okarun is quite forward with Momo and essentially argues with her. Right? He tells her that if she's bothered by what she saw, that she needs to be honest with him. It's very outside of his character up until this point, but it gets through to her. You know? And it's also another side to Okarun. It shows that he cares so much that he's ready to push past his personal boundaries that has defined him up until this point. It's great. It's such a good scene. It's one of the first moments where they properly come together past just working together, right? It's quite a raw payoff. And it sets them on the path of fixing their relationship after what she saw with Okarun and Aida. You know, I've said it in videos before, but I love the way that Dandadan doesn't dwell on conflict between the characters for too long. People just apologize, man. Like, talk about it. Talking about it is the way to do these things, right? A lot of the time, I can't stand it when media and stuff comes up with excuses for people to never talk about the thing that they need to talk about. I think the romance between Okarun and Momo is slightly different because they don't understand why or what they properly feel. But you know, like, it's not the exact but it's situations like this could be easily dragged out, is my point. And they aren't. And there's also some really cool art when they defeat the Serpos. Like, great art. It's so cool. And then they end up naked in the middle of the hallway, which is crazy. I don't know how anybody comes back from that, if I'm going to be completely honest, because that's like top tier stuff. We meet Queen Sensei too. So there's that. She will be relevant in 150 chapters, no doubt. And the thing that pushes this up for me is that moment where Okarun reveals the truth as to what he was doing behind the school when he was working out, and that he wants Momo to see him as cool and to see him like a man. And I don't know, like, it says it's so good. That's such a good moment. This is one of those moments that's so early in the series that encapsulates everything that there is to love about it. I don't know, like, love it. That moment easily, easily, it just pushes this up a bit for me. To be honest, it maybe, I don't know where I'd place it. But that look is so good. The look is so good that they have. Yeah, that's it. Emotional growth is hot, guys. You know? But yeah, I don't know. The stare and the fact that Miko and Muko are there, it's like, what can you do, right? What can you do? I don't know. No, that is it though, isn't it? Like, there's a it's the look, that interaction between the two of them, I think, is so powerful. And like I said, the Miko and Muko moments are great, and also we get to see Ida for the first time, to be honest, like properly in action as an Acro silky form, and she finally does something that's not in her best interest exclusively. And also, the PD Weenie stuff is great, right? Like we meet him for the first time, and he's such a nice guy. Oh, I don't know. Right, I guess we should vote, guys. Oh, would you count the cow? Would you count the cow being taken up into the spaceship? Would you count that as part of the Serpo arc? I think it is. That's like my favorite piece of art in the entire series. I think it might be my favorite piece of art. I think it is, yeah. That pushes it up. I'm personally, oof. I'm a B tier myself, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm a B tier, I think. But, yeah, I mean, the cow being taken up to me makes it, that combined with the emotional payoff moments for me, pushes it to B tier for sure. For sure. Like, I love that moment, and it's so well done in the anime as well. I know, again, we're not judging that. Quite a cliffhanger as well. I'm gonna drop in a poll, guys. Sarah, there you go. She's spoken. She's kind of our archivist. You know, she got all of the bonus chapters together and stuff. So, create polls. That's. What should I start with? I'm gonna start with A tier on this one. Alright, guys. Vote away. Fire away, boys. Fire away. Oh, we got some B tiers. Yes. Yes, I love being right more than anything. More than anything, I love being right. Yeah, I don't want to put more than one arc in D tier, guys. You crazy guys. If you guys want multiple in D tier, that's on you. But I ain't on me. Oh yes, B tier is winning. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Yeah, no, I hear that as well. Look, but I, if you recall, I was a proponent of Turbo Granny being an A tier, and I've got the video footage to prove it. Nothing does deserve to be in D tier. Look, I intentionally didn't call it F tier, right? You know? Okay, right. I'm going to end the poll in 10 seconds, guys. If you haven't gotten your votes in, get them in now. Although I don't think it's going to change the outcome unless suddenly we found a whole batch of votes somewhere. You know? In my heart of hearts, Turbo Granny is also an A tier. But look, the people have spoken. The people have spoken, guys. And we are done. We're done. Where's the poll? I don't see it. Oh, there it is. Okay. It gets limited. I can't do 5 options for the poll, guys. I can only do 4. But that's life. That's life, gang. Alright, B tier it is. B tier it is. Now, again, I again would personally like to say that Turbo Granny Arc, in my opinion, is an A. But hey, you know, we're all. Some people have the wrong opinion, and sometimes the majority have the wrong opinion, and that's fine. And you know, I love you all the same. That's great. Tim is the highest among us. He's fine. He's a good kid. He's a good kid. He's the financier of this channel. You know? Yeah, no, I think, you know, guys, I have a sneaking suspicion that the Ombudsman arc is going to end up the D tier. I think everybody's going to vote that. So I don't want to treat it like a foregone conclusion. Maybe I'm wrong, you know. But I suspect that that's the one that's going to be the D tier, guys. No, you're right. You're right. I set the rules. What I should have done is I should have set the rules as I get 10 votes. That's what I should have done. No, I'm glad. I'm glad that there's that we're all picking. It'd be like if I wanted it just to be my choice, then I wouldn't have done a vote. You know. Nobility, no. The Rin arc. To be fair, I do like the Ombudsman arc as well. Like, none of them are bad. None of them are bad. They're all great. In my eyes, they're all S tier. Just the Cursed House arc maybe a little bit more than others. Which is now what we're on. The Cursed House arc. You know, this is one of those ones where I don't know what I can say that I haven't already said. You know, there's a whole video. There's a whole video, guys. You know, I don't know. Do we recite it? Should I recite it? Or do we just put it in S tier and then call it a day? Do we vote on this? I don't know if my heart could take it. Not being an S tier. For me, the Cursed House arc is probably Dandadan perfection. You know, especially if you count the back of the car hand-holding scene, which I do count. I think that counts. If that's the case, then see, that's kind of where I don't want to say it. I don't want to say it, Charlie. I don't want to be the one to say it, but it kind of feels like I feel like if you've been on the channel if you've been to the channel long enough to be here, you've probably seen the Cursed House arc video. You know, yeah. Okay. You know what? I'm gonna make the poll. I'm gonna make the poll just as a formality, just so that we don't start getting ideas of you know, complete bias. That's a good question. Sarah, do you have an answer for us? Does it count? Does that count? It like volume-wise, I believe that there's like a new volume starts just at the beginning of the car scene, but I don't know if that's the right way to judge arcs or not. Yeah, I mean, I need to know it. I need to know whether or not the Cursed House arc includes the hand-holding scene. I included it in the video, so Yeah. Oh, no, that's a good point. It's like to chapter 50. That chapter 50 is the hand-holding scene. I've got it tattooed on the inside of my soul. Yeah. I think. Yeah, it is. It is. So, I'm going to count it. I'm going to count it. Round here, we count it. In these parts, we count it. There it is. I love democracy. Oh, look at that. Oh, my lord. 86%. Oh, dear. I believe that's what we call an overwhelming majority. He puts them all on S tier. That's cheating. That's cheating. I refuse to betray the process. The ranking process. I refuse it. Oh, I agree. They all look, guys. It's important that we all recognize that they all do deserve it. They all deserve to be S rank, right? This is a perfect show with so many perfect moving parts, but you know, we've got to make some tough calls. We've got to make some tough calls, and that's our job. That's our responsibility. So make the right one. Vote S. You know, I want to put them all on there too, but hey. Right, 22 votes. It looks overwhelmingly in the favor of S. I'll give it another few. Well, maybe I'll give it a minute. You guys want to wait a minute? Well, I don't see there's much point, but I don't know. It's like, this is important that we murmur would exactly, guys, exactly. Absolutely. It's a beautiful thing. This is what our freedom has bought us, guys. God, it's beautiful. Okay, well, as soon as this poll hits 2 minutes, I'm ending the poll, and I'm going to do what we should have done at the beginning of this stream, and I'm gonna drop the cursed house arc into the S tier. We only got space for one more S rank. All right. So if you guys want the evil eye arc to be S rank, and I'm not against that, I love that as well. But we still have the Space Globalist, and we still have the Dan Manra arc. You know, and I'd hate for either of those to fall, because like what we're talking about here is at a certain point one of those is going to have to be pushed to C, right? And this is where it gets tricky. This is where the whole thing starts to fall apart for me, because then we're in a situation where either the Space Globalist or the Dan Mamra arc ends up in C tier, and I won't stand for that. I refuse to stand for that. I respect you voting for A, Tim. You know, anybody who vote, you know, if you had voted C tier, some people voted C and B tier, and I respect your individuality. I don't agree with you, but I respect your right to make that call. And here we go. Oh, it's beautiful. Oh, it's perfect. It's perfect. Look at it. It's beautiful. See? No, but this is where it gets tricky, guys, because then suddenly we're going to have to start moving around all the other stuff because we were wrong in the first place. You know? Dan Mamra in C would be insane. Crazy. I love that we all have different opinions, guys. It's great. That's where the fun comes in. If we had all agreed from the get-go on every single arc, then this would be a bit boring. The fact that you crazy people pushed the Turbo Granny arc to B tier, I respect that. I respect that like crazy. You know? Like, well done, guys. You're wrong, but but I respect it. Yes, Tim. Yes, Tim. Everybody just yes, Tim in the chat. Okay. Right. Yes, right. So, I mean, we've all seen the Cursed House arc. Now, not everybody has seen the Evil Eye arc video because YouTube took it down because they were afraid of our power. And you know, that's fine. People attack things they're afraid of. And that's not a bad idea, Danny. I don't know when any of these things are going to happen because we've got the chapters coming out as of next week, which I'm very excited to go through with all of you. I hope that you're all ready for that, for us to go through the new chapter. Going to be crazy because we haven't done that yet. It's wild that all of these streams, by the way, have existed inside of the hiatus. You know, yeah, things are going to get pushed. Yeah, I mean, like I said, not everybody has... Look, I love the Evil Eye arc. I love it. You know, you've got another hand-holding scene. I'm here for it. I'm here for it. Don't worry. Don't worry. I ain't pushing nothing down to C or D tier just yet. I think... Yeah, no. So not everybody has seen the Evil Eye arc because people feared us. YouTube feared us and took it away. But anybody who has seen it, so I feel like maybe I should recite some of it, like go over some of it, but where we didn't need to with the Cursed House arc. Yeah, you know, like the Evil Eye arc is quite incredible in a lot of ways just because of the fact that it does so much for the characters. Not a lot really happens, but people grow significantly in it. Everybody becomes so much more, and they all, you know what it is, there's a cohesiveness by the end of it that makes you feel like everybody's a unit or a family in a way that you didn't get at the beginning, especially with Ida, because she was not in the Cursed House arc pretty much at all until right at the end. So yeah, I mean, yeah, Enigma. I know. I was talking about this earlier, but I don't. It's not even like ironic anymore for me. I just think Kinta's funny. One day, guys, and this will blow your minds. One day, we will rank the characters. Think about that. That's when when all this is going to come to a head. Really. Because what's going to be really frightening is when we do get to ranking Kinta. Can you imagine that? I can't. He does farm aura. That's true. It's just his haircut, man. I don't know. If, like, we've seen what a haircut can do, how that can change you, right? But yeah, look, guys, I mean, one day we may have no choice but to do a character thing. See, that's where I'm at as well, Sarah. I feel like this humble community could be torn apart by such a intense discussion. That's also a really good point, Blissy, as well. I don't know that I have it in me to go through talking about... The thing is, like, I don't imagine that will be necessarily soon. Like, maybe that's something we should save for when the anime is back. I don't know. I mean, there's lots of things we can do, right? And that's what's great about this. But yeah, I mean, as I write more about the series, I start to understand certain elements that I didn't see before, and as a consequence of that, my opinions of characters shifts slightly, except for like Momo, I guess. She has been number one in my mind just for the entirety of the series. There's not really, you know what I mean? Like, if Momo didn't end up in S tier, then I would have to start a riot, I'm afraid. And I don't know. I didn't. Jarrett, yes, we you know what, a quick TLDR could actually be good for all of us, just to get us where we are. We went through the Turbo Granny arc through to the Serpo arc, and you know, we didn't all agree, and that's what made it interesting. But we've landed where we have through democratic means. We all have voted on each of them, and the Cursed House arc we did not recite purely because we all know it. We all know it. We all love it. It's S tier. Boom, overwhelming majority. And that's where we are, Jarrett, my friend. Mediator, excellent. That's all that we need. We need mediation, because honestly, you know, tensions can run high. Tensions can run high, guys. We're not making much progress at all, Jarrett. I'm gonna be honest with you. Well, to be fair, how far are we? Not really halfway, because the arcs get way longer. Way longer as we go. Yeah, Okurun. He's my boy as well. He's my boy as well. I like, you know, he and Momo are the main characters, right? So it's like, you can't not have them particularly high, because they're the most developed characters out of the bunch, right? Yeah. It's okay, Tim. Look, we're probably going to shift these all around anyway by the time that we get to the end. But right, let's try to do the Evil Eye arc. And I'm going to what I'm going to do is I'm not going to get too in depth, because there is a video. Anybody who wants to watch it, follow my Patreon link in the description, and it will take you to a free tier sign up where you can watch the Evil Eye arc on my Patreon, or you can wait until hopefully it's restored on the channel after I have finished with a copyright strike situation. Either way, I enjoyed making it, and I hope that you like it. Yes, I don't know that we're going to be able to finish the kaiju as well. Yeah. We're talking about The Shining. What is this? We got The Shine. That's great. I watched The Shining like 2 nights ago. That's crazy. What a film. Love it. Anyway. Focus. I need to focus. You people are so distracting. We're never going to do this. We're never going to do this if, you know. Shiny. Firefly. Yes, Firefly. Shiny. Firefly. Rip. We're on the Evil Eye arc now. And I am going to recite the bones of it without getting too in-depth, just because, like I said, you can watch the Evil Eye arc on my free Patreon, or wait for it hopefully to be reinstated on the channel soon. Anyway, it starts with Momo and Okurun walking to school together, and talking about the Evil Eye, which currently possesses Gigi, and they're planning on exercising it. Miko and Muko show up. They're fantastic. I love them. Amazing. And they talk to them about what happened in Gigi's town. I can't. I genuinely, Danny, if I could hear everybody's voices, I'd probably have a nervous breakdown, because I can't. There's too much. It's too. I can't. All I'm doing is glancing over. I'm seeing like 50 new messages. I'm like, oh no. See, you've just done it. You've done it again. No, yeah, that is it. It's all about. It's all about that character development in this arc, guys, and that's what is fantastic about it. And they go to school, and Ida is outcast because of the way that she told the truth about the lies that she was spreading about Momo at the end of the Serpo arc. She was not in the Cursed House arc, really, so this is the first time we've seen her in a little bit. And it's very sad, because she did the right thing. But then Momo shows up, and at this point they're comfortable enough kind of just cutting through the act that she puts on. And Momo asks them to come and stay with her. And they do. They go to stay with Momo at her house, and it's great. And this is one of the this is why one of the best parts for me, one of the best periods of time in the entirety of Dandadan, because they're just staying together. It's so nice, and the interactions that they have, it's so wholesome. And you know, it's nice to not have things constantly be moving at a crazy pace and new enemies showing up constantly. Like, the overcoming their own personal struggles is what, and coming together to overcome the evil eye, is what defines this arc. And it's not an external, well, it's partially an external journey, but for the most part it's an internal journey. It's making the conscious decision to step up and stand together is excellent, you know. Right, what is happening? Everybody's talking about talking. Oh my god. Yeah, it would be pretty hectic to do that. At the moment, the voice channel is locked, just because I don't know how to moderate something like that. I don't know how to moderate a voice chat. It moves at like 1,000,000 miles a second. So I need to figure that out. Yeah, I'll figure that out. I don't think that the chat, like the Discord, needs moderation at this point in time, because everybody's so decent. But I don't know what that would look like right now. You know what I mean? You know. Orbis, thank you. Orbis, you're gonna graduate soon, my friend. You're gonna graduate soon. You'll be out of the Kinta arc very soon. The cat. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I part of me is like, you know, the growth of the channel has kind of reached a steady pace now, rather than the exponential growth that we had at the beginning. I just want to make sure that whatever like, I don't know how to phrase it. Whatever rules are in place, whatever system we put in place is sustainable to the growth of the growth of the channel as well, and the growth of the Discord. So leave it with me for now, and let me think about it, and we'll figure it out. I like the Discord a lot, guys. No, I know we need to focus. I like the Discord a lot. It's great in there. It's great in there, and I want to keep it as relaxed as possible, you know. Yeah. Anyway. Okay, fine. You know what, actually, There you go. There you go. You are voting to vote. Voteception. Is that a thing? Do people still do the deception joke thing these days? Yeah, Big Pickle, I appreciate you, man. Look, the only reason that I'm skipping ahead here is because the evil eye the evil eye arc is a yeah, you know what, that doesn't, you're right, it doesn't make sense, but yes means yes. Let's continue. Let's vote now. Continue recitation is a no. But you're quite right. The exact the grammar there doesn't make sense, guys. This is why we're never going to get anything done, because we're voting on voting now, and it's like I appreciate the freedom of it all, like, but goddamn. Blissy's right. Blissy, these people have stolen that from you. That ain't on me. That isn't on me. They have that 90% that you're looking at. You are to blame. They've stolen that from you. Yep. Has democracy gone too far? I don't know. Maybe. Right. Okay. I think we're going to be voting on vote. We're going to just vote. We're going to just vote. We're never going to get to do the thing. So, vote away, guys. Remember, when you cast your votes, you need to remember that we have other things coming soon as well. More arcs are coming. I love democracy. Oh, it's intense. There is no option for D. There's no option for rank D here. Absolutely not. The evil eye arc is not. I mean, to be fair, it's because I can only put 4 options in the poll, and I'm just taking an educated guess that this will not be a D tier. You misclicked. Democracy, we can't rewind it. Yeah, no, John, you're right. We're not going to be done here. I mean, look at it. Look at the time. We're fools to imagine it. We're fools to even think of it. Oh, foolish. No, the evil eye arc is not going to be... Right, so it looks like it's going to be an S. It looks like it's going to be an S rank. You're crazy. Although, to be fair, this is a great arc as well. You know... Recount? No, we don't recount here. I'm sorry. It looks like we're getting an evil eye S tier. You know, I respect everybody's choices here. No, we get 2. Oh, no, you're right, Sarah. Right, yes, no. B tier is off limits, actually. Anybody who voted B tier has automatically been reassigned to D tier. How dare you? Why would you vote that? Blissy, that's a good question. I don't know. I don't like the idea of having referendums after personal previous experience. So let's just say that this is I
don't know. This is not final. This is not final. We're going to have to go back and change these things because look at it. Look at it. It's a mess. Look what the chaos that you have wrought. That you we can't have 3 S tiers, and I'm not doing it. I'm not changing the rules because then there'll be no D tier. Alright, I ain't changing the rules. What we're looking at here is just a bad situation because now we're, regardless of how you look at it, regardless of how you look at it, the Dan Manra or Space Globalist arc would have to end up in C or D. Honestly, I don't know. Maybe this democracy thing has gone too far. Maybe I made a mistake. You know, dictatorship would have got this done my way. You know? No, you see, Pickle, you're trying to circumvent the rules by adding a new, because if we have an S plus tier, then we haven't got a D tier. I think we all know what the D tier is. No, you're right. They're all great. They're all fantastic. They've all got incredible moments, but yeah, maybe I gave you guys too much freedom. You know? I'm starting to see the benefits of alternative democracy. I'm starting to see the benefits of an alternative democracy system. Perhaps next... you see, Stick, here's the problem. The people voted for it. You know? The people voted for these... You know? What am I supposed to do? Yeah, there's 30 of us. Too many rules. No, you're right. The people are itching for a more firm hand in this process, and you know, I'll be damned if I don't provide it. You know, I'll be damned if I don't provide it, guys. No, Tim, that's not democratic. If you guys aren't careful, I'm going to make it so that you can't vote for D tier with the Ombudsman. How do you like that? I'm going to make it so you can only vote S through C for Ombudsman. Are we all still wanting to get ahead of ourselves and just drop it to D rank now, or do you all want to wait? Do you all want to wait? You know? Yeah, exactly. Alternative. We need alternative democracy in this chat. I don't know. Something to consider for next time, I think. Right. Okay. Here's what I'm thinking. Okay? Here's what I'm thinking. We'll look at what we've got. There is no democracy in that at all. Dandadan. Exactly. Orbit. You know? Yes. Yeah, Dandadan itself could be S plus tier. I'm willing to make an exception for that. You've all lost your minds. Everybody in the chat's lost their minds. You know? You're all, there's a C star tier now. I don't know what to even say about that. I don't even know what to say about C star tier. What is, you know, you've all lost it. You've all gone crazy. I think that what we should do... Oh no, they're rising up against me. Oh! Oh! Oh no. Thank you, Tim. Appreciate it. Incredible. Thank you. Big Pickle, you're in the group now. Oh yeah, no. This is gonna, the Discord's gonna be hell. It's gonna be hellfire. It's gonna be hell to pay. That's the problem. They didn't. The people here. Maybe you weren't qualified. No, stop rioting, please. Please, please. You've got another Kinta in the chat, guys. Please. Not in front of Kinta. I know. Not no Danny. I even know if I don't even think I can gift them. Like, I wish I could. I don't know. It doesn't. There's a very limited number of functionality here on my end. Well, yeah. I mean, look. The people have spoken. Evil Eye and Cursed House Arc right now. Look. Let's go through. Let's go through what we currently have here, and yeah, we need to do better for Kinta's sake, guys. You know. We'll go through what we have here, and we'll gauge the room. We'll gauge the virtual room a little bit, and then we'll decide. And then we'll decide if we're happy with where we are, right? Okay. So let's go through and gauge the room a little bit. All right, we're all ready for this. We're all on the same side. We're all on the same side, guys. Okay. All right. There's a lot of things happening already. Okay. I think that is what it is, Blissy. You're right. Everybody just loves Gigi now. That's what it is. I'm sorry for doing this. It was me. I'm the hero. Ridiculous. Right. Okay. So, Serpo arc. What we feeling? Happy where it is. I'm not changing them until the end, until we get to the end. And if you're not, if you're not well behaved, guys, then we're not changing them at all. And I don't want to have to do that. All right, I don't want to have to do that. I don't like putting my foot down like that. Are we happy? Are we happy with where the Serpo arc is? Is the Kintas there, right? Yeah. Oh my god. This is chaotic. This is more chaotic than it's ever been. This is actually the most chaotic it's ever been. Oh, we've got a lot of people. A lot of people ain't wanting to push it down to C tier now. I bet a lot of you voted for it to be in B tier now, didn't you? That's what I thought. Now, worth remembering, guys. The look that they had. That's in the Serpo arc. Do you think that's C tier? Do you think that the cow abduction is C tier? Is that what you think? Because if that's what you think, if you hate those moments and that's what you think, then I can bump it down. I respect your game, Randy. Yeah, see, John. Now, John, he's fallen for the manipulation. Thank you, John. Thank you, John. I appreciate that. We need more Johns in the world, if you ask me. Actually, no, there are a lot of Johns in the world. Arguably, primarily Johns. Technically, by name. We want the chaos. Ravenous people. Gaslighting. I believe. Me? What? No. See, everybody's conflicted now. That's thanks, Tim. I appreciate that. That's very nice of you to say. I appreciate that, Tim. That's such a kind thing to say. Wow, that means a lot. That's true. That's true, John. There's only one you. There are a lot of Johns out there, but this one is mine. Right, so everybody agrees that it's a C. Yeah, you're right. I do feel somewhat responsible for this whole situation, but there are no low Bs. Compromise will not win the day here, Jarrett. I respect your game, my friend, but it ain't happening. We don't do half measures. Not here. Publicity. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Right. So everybody's kind of feeling that it's a C tier. I'm not gonna change it. Yet. We'll see. Next. Time if we change it. So keep that in your mind if you can. Have a little think about it. And maybe we'll change it next time. You know, like we did. You guys did vote for this. You know, like I'm just saying, like I actually can't get a vote. I can't vote. So really, you guys voted for this. I would have immediately put it in C tier because I obviously and I wouldn't change it either because I just know. But hey, you know, maybe I'm just built different. I don't know. Sorry, that was silly. But all right, keep that in mind. Now then, Turbo Granny arc, guys. What are we thinking? Are we happy with that? In B tier? Thanks, John. I appreciate that. I've been having fun as well. No, these are the hard decisions that we must all make. Look, at first, I was gonna just do it so that it was just me voting on it. Like I was just gonna pick, but this is much more fun, and we all get to suffer. See, Jarrett, I agree with Jarrett. I personally think I put it up to an A tier personally, but that's just me. You know, I really like the first arc. Also, it's very hard to find a copy of the first volume, so that makes it more rare. It's like a shiny. I do think it's probably best in B tier for now, in like right now. See, I appreciate what you're saying, Sarah. I do, but I also kind of revel in the chaos that's being caused here. I mean, we are adding time on top of everything here. Like it's really drawing this out. And at first I was kind of against it, but now I'm seeing the benefits of this system. It's much more enjoyable. It's much more enjoyable to see you fight. No. We vote on so Turbo Granny. Getting some C's, mostly B's, an A. Are we happy with where it is? I think I'm happy with where it is, personally. Oof, Tim. Oof, D tier. Oh my lord. No. But dude, it's very visual. Just shake. You know? It's good fun. The real question is, does the acrobatic silky arc belong in A tier? I agree with Gabriel. I think I agree with Gabriel. I'd probably swap acrobatic silky with Turbo Granny. If it were me. That's what I would do. But you know? Oh my god. What a heel turn. No, we can undo it. We can make this right, guys. Don't turn your back on Dandadan. Not because of me. Tatsu's gonna be knocking at my door any day now. Furious. Why does everyone hate it? Why do I keep hearing your name? I'm so sorry. Acro Silky C tier. Oh. Goodness gracious. Yeah. No, guys, come on. Look, we don't need to turn on each other. We don't need to turn on each other. We don't need to turn on each other, guys. Come on. Look, we're all friends here. We're all on the same side. Now, acrobatic silky. What are we thinking? Guys, what are we thinking? Is it really an A tier? The backstory, the Acro silky sad parts are pretty excellent, but are you letting the anime version of it infect your noodle? Scramble your egg? Because honestly, I think that if we were judging the anime, I'd slap that on an A tier easy any day of the week. But we are judging the manga, right? Now, personally, I'm losing the crowd. You are correct, right? Right, Blissy, but I'm not changing. I'm changing the rules for no one. Not for me, not for no one. Yeah, I mean, God, this is a lot. Everybody's got opinions about this. A tier. Respect you, Wolf, for standing on business and sticking to your guns. You know, I must say, those of you in the chat who are sticking with your initial thing, despite the fact that we're now seeing the fact that this lack of foresight of voting this way is going to create a situation in which the Dan Manra arc or Space Globalist arc ends up in C grade. I respect you sticking to your guns and being stubborn. I do. You know, like, sometimes you have to stick with what you know. Even if that means that two of the great arcs are going to be slapped down to C tier because people lack taste. That's fine. I don't mind that. I'm a bit shocked. And offended by that, but I'm not like gonna change it. I'm not gonna interfere. You know, look to the person sat to your left. Can you really trust them to vote for the Space Globalist arc to be at C tier? I don't think this. Every time I've tried to submit something to the subreddit, like there have been a few times where I've posted something, and it's been well received. But every time that I've posted anything to the subreddit, I've kind of like, the moderators just don't like it. I don't know why. It's like they say self-promotion or something like that, but it's like, it's not always like a video thing or whatever. It's just, I don't know. He's right. Tim, you are right, but like I said, we're judging the manga, not the anime. If it was the anime, totally on board with Acrobatic Silky being really high up there. We can move them down later. You're right. We can. It's just more funny to get it right the first time. You know? Yeah, I hear you, Orbis. I think that is one of the common criticisms of the Dan Manrog, but I think that them being apart, is so important as well, because it means that when they come together, they realize they realize, like, in that moment, at least Okarun does, what he needs to do, because that was almost it, right? And so when the idea of them being gone, split apart permanently, is on the card straight after that, it's like he knows the pain that he just went through, and he doesn't want to go through it again without having told her what he thinks and what he feels. So them being apart is absolutely necessary to making that confession hit like a truck-kun, right? Yeah, I agree. This is yeah, I think that this intentionally creates a bit of friction in our rating, but you know, guys, it's just for fun. We all know that every arc is top tier. Every arc is top tier, for sure. But I find it funnier to kind of create a little bit of friction in it. You know? You know? Because like even like the S tiers, right? Like I consider the Cursed House arc to be better than the Evil Eye arc, personally. I think. But that they share a ranking together. It's just part of the process, right? It's just a joke. It's just a joke, guys. You know? We all still pals, right? We all still buds. You know? I suppose the question is now, are we satisfied with our current S ranks? Randy. Come on, Randy, we good? Come on, guys, we good? Yeah, I mean, Evil Eye and Cursed House Arc are both pretty excellent. Yeah, no, it's Cursed House should move to A. That's controversial. That's controversial. Wow, did not see that. Well, you know, that's a good question, Jarrett. I think that while the Evil Eye arc is a lot more kind of like about the group coming together, and that's great. Like I love that. I think that the revelations in the Cursed House arc are just, you know, for me, I can't not see that as incredible. Like it covers the Taro stuff and Okurun seeing and understanding himself. Like for me, that is the moment, not just where Okurun learns that he is in love, which is like a big deal for him, but also it's the moment where he realizes that he, like Momo said in the first arc, right, he pushes people away because of the fact that he feels like he's unworthy or inferior. So that is the moment where he decides, because that's what he starts falling into when it comes to Momo and Gigi, is to back off and just let things happen and to not fight, because he doesn't know what it is that he's fighting for. But in that moment, it clicks, something switches in his mind, and he stops being passive and he stops just surrendering to it, and he decides that he needs to overcome everything that's ever kept him back personally, that he's let keep him down, because this person, this feeling that he has is worth it, and that's just such a great character change, just such an amazing shift in my opinion for his character, and that for me is the moment that happens. And then also Momo, when she thinks that Okurun's died, she comes to similar revelations about how she feels. Like everything that comes after between them is set up by that arc, and I think that's why I like it. It doesn't give us everything, but it does give us the handhold moment, and I think that is just, yeah, that's for me. I love the Evil Eye arc as well, but it's not, it just doesn't punch the same for me. It doesn't have the same. For me, I think the Cursed House arc might be, in my opinion, the best arc in the series for me. You know, because if we didn't have a limit on what could be S tier, everything would be S tier. You know? Yeah, to be honest, I'd maybe pop the Evil Eye arc down to A. A little, no, well, maybe a little. I think it's fun to see everybody a little bit. What would you say? Disagreeable. But I think it's, you know, if we could just put them all on S rank, then we wouldn't really iron out everybody's different opinions. And also, you know, this is really enjoyable and stuff, guys, but worth remembering, this is always just for fun, you know? Like, obviously, the ranking thing for me doesn't mean anything. Like they're all excellent in their own ways, right? You can't create a clear ranking system for such a kind of something that's of a qualitative nature like this, right? You know? Two. It's two in every rank. 2 in every rank, max. You know? Ombudsman has some great moments as well. It's not the one that I connect with the most. Awesome. Glad to hear that. Wolf 2, Wolf 5. Yeah, the car scene. The car scene, I think, is the Cursed House arc. Maybe we'll make a numbered list next time as well. You know, every single arc, like I said, is excellent because it's Dandadan. You know? Exactly. There you go. Yeah. Yeah, as long as we're all chill. You know, this is a very loose thing anyway. You know, I'm happy that we all kind of have our own opinions and stuff. Yeah, no, that's where I'm at as well. The Evil Eye fight with Okrun and the workout moves. Oh, that's a good point actually. When they hold hands before the multi-stage rocket escape. Another perfect moment. Oh, love the Cursed House arc. Love it. Absolutely love it. I think that's actually one of the ones that I got the other day. The volumes that I got. Alright, see ya. Yeah, I'm gonna head in a few minutes as well, gamers. Just because it's nearly 12:30. I didn't expect it to go on as much as it did, but you know, we've all been very argumentative, guys. Look at us. You know? Okay. Yeah. Yeah, that might end up being the solution. I don't know. I'm glad to see everybody's got yeah, I like the early stuff as well. Like that is a crazy reform combining the arcs. What a crazy reform. Absolutely not. Nice try. That's okay, guys. As long as everybody's chill. As long as we're all chill still, and no one feels like they've been the Cursed Eye arc, you know. Okay, as long as nobody feels like they've been spurned. As long as nobody feels they've been spurned. Nah, he's right. You're right, Orbis, my dude. It was a foolish notion. It was an old-fashioned concept, wanting to do this in a single stream. What silliness. Now, I just thought that it would be a good opportunity, guys, to do something slightly different this time. Because obviously it's our last Monday before it's back. Before the chapters restart and we can all jump on and talk about that for however long on a Monday. I don't know how long that would take to cover. Like, these tend to be at least 2 hours. These take at least 2 hours normally. I don't know if we can do 2 hours for 2 hours for a single chapter. Maybe we can. I don't know. I suppose it depends on the chapter. I'm good. Just a little burp, guys. It happens. Biological functions and all that, right? Yeah, the tangents are constant, guys. Oh wow, you're gonna hit out on the next tier. That's crazy. Now you see, that's crazy right there. I don't even know what the next tier is. Let me check. Hold up, guys. I'll check. Levels. Loyalty. It's Turbo Granny. It's Turbo Granny tier. The first to ascend. Turbo Granny tier is a good tier. I actually like that. That's the one that I made next. I think I had a Rin tier for a minute, but I removed it because I ran out of spaces and I couldn't sacrifice Turbo Granny for it. Yeah, soon we're gonna have some Turbo Grannies in the chat. Then what? Then what are we gonna do? The wars will return. The wars will return. You know? New chapter on our hands, guys. Now, look. Surviving the hiatus has been excellent, guys. I've enjoyed doing it with you. It's crazy to think that inside of this hiatus, the entirety of what is currently the community has formed, whether it be on stream or on Discord. I'm hoping that in the next day I should know one way or the other regarding the Evil Eye Arc's status on YouTube. I am writing, almost just about finished with the last my draft with the next video. No spoilers for those of you who do know, who are on the higher Patreon and YouTube membership tiers. But that is going to be well underway in the next, I want to say, day. And it's looking like it might be a long one, guys. At least an hour. Which is... yeah, that's going to be a lot of editing, but it means that we're going to get more video. I'm going to do a premiere for that, for sure. No spoilers. Nobody... I don't want to create like a black market of people spreading around top secret information. But yeah, I'm hoping that maybe we can do a premiere for that. That could be cool. The script needs a bit of refinement. It needs recording and then editing, blah 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 blah. That's me stuff. But I'm hoping that everybody enjoys it when it's done. But it's obviously been a bit later just because I was working on so many of the stuff in the background, like the Discord and revising all the Patreon and the memberships and everything like that, which everybody has taken to so well. Join the Dandadan gang for spoilers if you like, guys, and access to the higher members only chat room. But like I said, that's basically that, and these small kind of snippets of the behind the scenes stuff are completely optional. It's not going to be something that's restrictive to content, but that is currently what the situation is. So like I said, been excellent getting this community up and running in that time, and getting to know a lot of you. It's it's been really cool, to be honest. I think there's a lot of us that have never really taken part in communities in any kind of real way. I know I haven't. I usually just lurk in communities. So being actually actively involved in something is quite gratifying. Everybody's really nice over there, you know, and interested and engaging and interesting. And yeah, it's great. So I've there's some Firefly stuff in there as well. Like, so yeah, it's been a great hiatus with you guys, is my point. You know, it's made the whole thing go a lot quicker than I thought it would, and I'm quite excited for how the whole thing's going to blow up when those new chapters are being released, guys. So yeah. Yeah, there's lots of, yeah, absolutely. Sarah's absolutely right. There's some really cool stuff going there. Oftentimes you'll wake up with 150 messages, and that's just how it is. But that's fine. It gives you reading material, even if you don't want to chat. It is really cool stuff that people are posting there and talking about, which is great for reading as well. And pet pictures. Yeah. My cat is staring at me currently. I think she wants food. I forgot to end the poll. Right. We all friends still. That's nice. That's nice. I'm glad. Yeah. You know, maybe at some point we go back through the all the other backlog arcs at some point if we run out of ideas. That's okay, Orbis. Just clickety clack and press enter. Yeah. Alright. Yes. Right, guys. That's me. Like I said, Patreon link in the description, which will take you to the free tier, Discord, all the other avenues for interacting and supporting the channel. That's the way to do it. It's been great. It's been really fun. It's been hectic. I'm exhausted. I'm absolutely exhausted just because I feel like it's been twice as animated as usual, because we've just been kind of like going over whatever this is. But it's been good, guys. Awesome. I'm glad to hear that we're all enjoying ourselves. It's been very fun. All right, maybe this week I'll sort out the rest of this tier nonsense. And all right, yes, of course, I'll go to bed. And next Monday is Mondadan. All right then, guys. Peace.